I didn't know all that much fancy, really. Watched 99% of The Punisher, but one episode to go. I will echo Matt's thoughts. That would have ended perfectly at 10 episodes.
Yeah.
There is one final little loose end that occurs at episode 9 and continues to 12 that is then resolved immediately. And it's like, oh, you just added this last second
subplot
foible to extend it a little bit.
The Marvel fumble.
It's not as bad as
it's the best one so far because it actually makes sense why anyone would care about this one.
Yeah. It's not as bad as like Luke Cage fumble of like, let's get rid of interesting thing and let's bring in not interesting thing that's not as cool.
Well, like,
it's not to that level.
The main problem with it is that like when the last second development showcases the direction the entire rest of the show is going to go to a T. So it's not what I'm going to describe. I'm going to describe an alternate version of this, but it's like you find out with 4 episodes to go, there's a nuke in the city.
Okay.
And only so-and-so has the codes to the nuke. And then your brain just goes, okay, well, he's going to go here, then that guy's going to get killed. And then
it's a drastic reshifting of priorities.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And
like for a little bit.
That's what made Spider-Man 2 not so good.
Oh boy, isn't it?
Yeah, I kind of realized that my extremely mild OCD is not going to let me start that without at least tapping off Iron Fist and Defenders.
Well,
jeez,
I'll tell you what.
That it couldn't have less.
I know.
I know. You're safe,
but I'm most of the way there.
Did you watch Daredevil season 2?
Yeah,
because that's the only thing that actually.
I realized that. The first thing I wanted to know was
that's why it's mild.
The first thing I wanted to know was like how much does it matter, and then I found out not much at all.
Zero.
Not much at all. But I was like 2 away from the end of Iron Fist.
Oh well, if you're 2 away,
and then I was like, I might as well just see what the rest was to just see what's going on.
So you're doing it for context.
Yeah, and I'm assuming that the timeline that Punisher takes place
it's the last one
is the
so
most
far.
recent.
They're as
I guess so, but like they don't even mention any other like no one even says like Hell's Kitchen.
I know, but if we catch a whiff of a Rosario Dawson fart, I want to know the episode that it originated in.
Karen is now the
which is one of the worst trade downs of all time.
That's not a good one.
That being said, like it's really great, and John Bernthal's performance is amazing. Is what keeps it.
He's a good actor.
Who plays Micro?
A fairly unknown actor.
Because he's great.
He's good.
And like more than
Micro is one of the most nothing characters in Punisher stuff. Generally, they never really do anything too interesting with him, and they actually made him like a fully fleshed out
you say that, but he's the closest thing to a Robin.
Yeah,
that's ever been there. So, and he did show up in the radioactive spider blood episode.
He did. It's true.
It did,
which made me overthink how important he was.
Yeah,
it did. He's so not important.
Like more than even like Frank's revenge plot, which is the same as it always is. I gotta kill everybody. Everyone's gotta die. It's so entertaining to watch what is essentially the shittiest friendship ever. Like, they're such dicks. They're so unlikable for such long. Well, actually, Frank is unlikable. Micro is likable.
Okay.
And the mid-season subplot that doesn't have anything to do with the revenge story has a really, really, really obvious point for the meta story to cause something to happen.
Yeah.
But it's still legitimately entertaining. And has a lot to do with, like, it makes you understand Frank better, even though it has nothing to do with him.
No, that was the one cutoff story that had, like, I think the most to work with. Just because, Iron Fist, like, I don't know. I guess it's like, anyway, like Punisher had a good...
I know that both of you kind of refused to talk about Iron Fist. You both just like hand waved it.
I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I know.
I watched one episode.
They cast Loris Tyrell as Danny Rand. And
that's true.
There's a bunch of Game of Thrones actors that are showing up in that.
See, I knew you looked familiar, but not enough.
And I forgot the guy's name from 300 that has the eye patch that's like, he comes back at the end.
Oh, I know him.
That guy is like, plays a huge role as well. And yeah, it just, like, they just run out of things to do with the characters.
Because all of these shows do not need to be 13 episodes. Every single one did not need to be 13. I think Defenders actually wasn't 13, which is good.
It's also weird because it has the most to actually do.
Yeah, no, it's like the whole like, we're gonna do an okay first 6 episodes and then fuck up the last 6 thing. In Iron Fist's case, you don't even get that. You really just get like, we ran out of things to do immediately
after episode 1,
3. And then we're just gonna wing it.
I'm gonna punch people with my magic hands.
I guess what I'm trying to say is that, like, Punisher had a setup by coming in, saving Daredevil season 2, and like leaving on a high note. So you know what I mean? Like, you've already established this working thing, and you just have to isolate it now.
Punisher does have one thing that the others don't, because there's 2 points in which the story gets extended. One which is very near the end, where it's a little forced, and there's one that's near the middle. Matt, it's when he goes to the house.
He goes to a house where...
after the base. He goes to the base, then he goes to the house.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, I wonder how they're going to keep this... oh, that's how. That's actually fantastic.
Cool. Very cool.
Oh, it's great. It's I'm excited to see...
Because the last episode is just... They prolonged it just to have a fight.
Yeah.
So the entire episode is just leading up to a fight that it doesn't really need.
The second to last episode's really goofy because every single thing is solved except one bad guy just walks out of the room.
Yeah. But that second to last episode was quite good.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Did anyone peep Runaways?
I could if I was allowed. You can't watch Runaways in Canada.
Yeah.
So,
is the dinosaur in it?
Yes.
I don't know. I can't watch it.
Okay.
I know this. I saw a trailer. It had a Velociraptor.
Okay.
And it was one of those fucking good Velociraptors with the no feathers.
Good.
Yeah, that's canon.
Good.
Fucking assholes.
The pure bloodline.